What if AI knows you better than your best friend? Hmm. Welcome to the Globally Connected podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about AI, which is artificial intelligence. So, I'll pass it over to Gigi as she will define what does artificial intelligence mean.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. So, we are going to discuss AI. So, we're all very familiar with AI. Obviously, we're all interacting with like new AI tools like ChatGPT, etc. But AI has actually been around for a while and it's integrated in a lot of tools that we already use. So, that includes Siri, that includes Netflix, that includes your Amazon recommendation engine. So, the way that we will describe artificial intelligence is machines or software that is mimicking human intelligence, whether that's from learning, problem solving, recognition of patterns, making decisions. So that's where it can fall into like recommendation engines. That's where it can fall into compiling data to problem solve, come up with a solution. So the very interesting thing about AI is that actually the more data that you feed AI and the more that AI has to process, the more that it learns itself. So the more the responses will be more tailored. The way that you format your questions within AI or the way that you utilize AI also determines the output. So we'll go into more detail today about AI, what it is, what are some use cases that we've seen, what is the good thing about it, but also what are the bad things about it and things to look into. So, Jerome, we'll go ahead and start. I'd love to ask you, what AI tools do you feel like you've been familiar with and using, and any commentary you have to add about AI so far?
Yeah, so Siri is one, Alexa is another one. And like when you call the credit card line, they do fraudulent activities. That's another one that I've been familiar with. But I want to piggyback and also ask, when did you first hear of artificial intelligence? Like when did you first become familiar with that term? For me, it was the beginning of 2021. So I'm just curious to know, when did you first hear of artificial intelligence?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I first heard about artificial intelligence, I believe it was 2018
Wow.
or 2019, one of them. But AI was used a lot in data models and like when data models are compiling information, like AI is a great way for machine learning, as we mentioned, for the system to be able to learn from data itself and make decisions. So I would say I first started learning about it in the context of classes, and then in the context of data as a whole. And then I feel like I became more familiar with actually using AI tools on a day to day level or on a personal level, probably in recent years. Like I use AI tools like Chat or Perplexity or Lovable. So we'll get more into some of these tools later. But that's around when I first discovered it.
What was your first initial reaction when you heard of AI? For me, it was like, oh, okay, similar to Bitcoin, something that you hear about, but in past you just brush it off. So, were you one of them? Because I actually was like that. Like, I didn't start taking AI serious until I want to say actually this year. So, just recently.
Yeah. Well, I didn't expect the how fast AI like advanced, like, I expected AI in the use cases that was seen, like recommendation engines, like Snapchat filters or stuff like that, like just in our existing systems, just enhanced with AI to make them a bit smarter, to make them know what we want to search a little more, and to give us more tailored results from what they are perceiving on our behaviors. But then when like these tools like chat started coming out where you can just interact directly with the AI as the final product is the AI,
Yeah.
I didn't expect things to come so fast like that, but I definitely I was very intrigued by this. I found it very interesting and I wanted to learn more about it and just understand how it operates from the back end side of things, but also just how to use it. Like it's very similar to how intelligence and today modern just how we engage as people operates. Like the more defined you are in what you're asking, the more context you give, the more detailed you are in what output you want, the closer you'll get to what you're looking for. So it's really cool. Like you can ask AI to do all kinds of things, like give me an answer from the perspective of how, for example, how would Nelson Mandela respond to this question? And then the AI will think in that way. So it's very interesting, the creativity and broadness that you can get with AI as well. So how about you? What are some ways that you currently utilize AI? Are you comfortable with AI, using it? And what are some things that you think like one should know as they're using AI tools?
So personally, you know firsthand that I'm just starting to get comfortable with using AI. So I'll probably say out of 100%, I use it maybe 5% of the time. But when I use it with tools such as Perplexity, which you informed me on recently, which I actually find pretty interesting. Like I like Perplexity. I'm familiar with ChatGPT, but I don't use Series like that. But when I go on Google now, whenever I'm searching something, I actually use the AI overview now instead of what actually Google is telling me. So I use it for those aspects, but also in film, like my actual logo for my company, it's actually artificial. It has an artificial intelligence aspect to it. And that was actually drawn by my friend in 2023. So actually, I kind of been like on it since then, but not really too deep into AI. So yeah.
And what tips would you give someone who like wants to get into AI? So I know you have recently started to dabble more into it. What would you say kind of shifted your perspective to be more open to using AI? And how would you recommend someone to kind of get started, or what things should they know about it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would definitely say, depending on your industry, you have to realize, is AI actually essential and could take you to another level within your industry, but don't use it to death. Like, don't use it to the point where if something goes wrong, that's not a crutch that you can lean back on to actually save you. So I would say first start with the industry, see how you can actually fine tune AI to better enhance the performance that you're looking to or the goal that you're looking to achieve, whatever that industry is, then I would just say use it in moderation, like use it once a week or once every other day or something like that. But I would say essentially use it to better present yourself and like package and market yourself or whatever it is that you're trying to do. And that's in all industries. Like I think the people who benefit the most from AI is business owners, anyone in the medical field, anyone in the industry of sports and sciences. And as I also think about it, I think manufacturing as well. And I think they could actually utilize it more. But off the top of my head, those are the people or the industries I think benefit the most from AI at this particular time in the.
Many industries can benefit from AI because it's pretty similar to gathering like research and data in the way that we do currently, like whether through books, whether through internet, whether through social communication. So I think it's a tool. It shouldn't be the end all be all. Like definitely it's still important to use your critical thinking skills even when engaging with AI. Like don't just take what you're getting and like that's it, and then be not able to like creatively solve something anymore, but see what you can add on to it. Maybe play around with it, go deeper on like different levels of the response and like dissect it more. So I would say use AI as a tool and be creative with it, but also don't be fully 100% dependent on it to where if it turns off tomorrow, like you don't know how to write an email anymore.
For
Like
sure.
definitely still practice skills like that, because a thought I had recently is like, it's the the things that are written and created from people are going to have more value as time goes to, like you being able to articulate things like from yourself as well will have
Mhm.
more value in a world where everything is becoming AI, in a world where everything is generated. Like, what are you generating as well, like in real time without assistance of a tool? That's also going to be important. So I mean, I'm all for the use of AI. Just continue to stay sharp on your own as well too. Don't become too complacent and dependent to where you aren't also increasing your personal skills at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I actually want to share something kind of correlating to what you said, like the key aspects of AI and like what you actually should be using it for. So the key aspects of AI is for learning and adaptation, reasoning and problem solving, perception, and language understanding, which is kind of like what I kind of somewhat spoke about, like how I use it, but also like different ways you could use it as a strength. And the types of AI to like that you could use is narrow and weak AI. So that is basically designed for specific tasks, such as playing tasks, playing chess, or recognizing images. And then you have the general, a strong AI, which is
Mhm.
hypothetical AI with human level intelligence, and that is capable of performing any intellectual task that a human can. So, yeah. What are your thoughts on that, by the way?
Yeah, and I believe we're actually seeing more of like narrow AI in
Mm,
the AI tools that we're doing. Like um it's task specific. Like it encompasses kind of what you're inputting and kind of asking for as an output. It's like specific within that. So I would
yeah.
say we are working on more narrow AI now. Um but yeah, I agree. Like AI is definitely a great tool for learning new skills too. I also think on the other end is like we're gonna start seeing businesses completely run on AI. Like we're already seeing that you can actually use AI to create a whole business. It runs on its own. It does the operations on its own. Like you just have to piece all the components together. So again, that's where critical thinking and management skills and operational skills, like being able to take a concept and put it together, is still going to be super valuable. And then AI is that additional tool that can help you with finding particular research or running particular queries and codes or cross checking them. So it can definitely cut your time in half and facilitate the efficiency that you have. Um, but yeah, we're gonna see like companies that are run on AI. We're gonna see how AI is being used to run social media accounts. Like there's no one even in the back end doing that. It's just all done by AI. We're gonna see films generated totally by AI. Combination with the deep fakes and everything. So it is really crazy, and it just goes to draw upon a next point that I want to bring home is what are the conversations that we should be having all together around AI, around the ethics of AI, around where AI is going, what the limits are, because currently we're kind of running in a limitless land.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure like where things are there. I'm not an expert on the field, so we're still learning and growing ourselves within it. But I would say like just like any new technology that comes out, it's going to take some time to put the right regulatory framework and to define what is right and what is wrong, what is too far and what is like some things that we should avoid, and what biases are we taking on as a society through AI? How does AI differentiate across the globe? Like now relating to our industry, like how does AI differ country to country, or is it similar outputs? Are we now going to have like a mentality that's very similar across the board? Like, is AI pushing globalization more because
Mm,
people are receiving similar outputs, or are there going to still be many different perspectives intertwining into the output? So, again, that's where like the way you format things and what you ask will kind of impact the output, and then also what data is being compiled to draw these results. How up to date is it? How much can you trust it? What is the accuracy? So there's a lot of question marks too that I would say that I have, and I'm sure you have as well, and just everyday people have about AI and where it's headed.
yeah, you brought up something very intriguing that I never thought about until just now. AI and its impact globally. Like I've never considered that. That's very interesting, and I'm very much intrigued to see how is AI going to immerse itself within globalization and also the impact it's going to have on the entire world globally. Like,
Hmm.
I never considered it to that point, but I think, to be honest, that may be the biggest thing to consider with AI, if I'll be honest with you, because as we know, as a global consulting company, every location in the world is different. Like, every technology and every framework, every ethics within a country is different. So I'm very fascinated to see what that's going to look like. Wow, you just
Yeah.
mom.
Even the tone that the AI communicates in, the languages, because AI is also building off of human language and how we communicate and how we perceive information. So it's going to be very interesting to see like how it differs, because for example, I use like some Chinese AI tools and I use some
Hmm.
American ones as well, and I sometimes can tell a difference in the way that it responds. Like
Yeah,
I tell my friends, I feel like my chat GPT is like sometimes a little bit more emotional than my like DeepSeek or something. So it's very interesting to see like the variations in different AIs, the variations in response based on how we program it.
yeah,
And yeah, it's pretty it's a pretty exciting time. So
yeah. So you mentioned earlier, like, AI is kind of still pretty much in its infant stages. So I'm curious to know, we each share in the next 2 to 3 years, where do we see AI? And I'll let you.
so I don't I don't know. So I feel like, for example, like language models, for example, like
Yeah,
language models versions of AI like ChatGPT, etc. I feel like those are pretty in their early stages, but they've already advanced so fast and are picking up the pace each time. But then there's other AI models that have been around for years and years and years and years. So like recommendation engines and things like that that are utilizing AI. So I think we'll see more different types of AI emerging. Like, for example, I recently started using a tool called Lovable. It helps you generate landing pages using AI. Super
hmm,
cool. There's tools to program using AI. So we're going to see more innovation, I think, being created now that these language models are out and different AI tools are out. They're going to be integrated into different solutions to create even more advanced AI models. So I just see it increasing more and more. And I see it being harder and harder to tell what is AI and what isn't AI.
yeah,
Um, like even some of the images, some of the visual AI that's out is
yeah.
already like catching me sometimes. Like I'm like, wait, is that real? So I think it'll definitely change, but I think there's definitely gonna be some sort of drawback or some sort of limits that are gonna be placed at some point
For
because
sure.
everyone is learning together at this stage. How about you? What are your thoughts on where AI is headed?
I see it obviously getting bigger, and obviously, to you all out there, you gotta hop on the wave now if you aren't already on it. But I'm gonna kind of take a pivot. I actually see AI becoming more prevalent, if it's not already, in educational systems. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I see it going to be very big in like all aspects of it, like um preschool, middle school, high school, and especially in college. Um, because obviously we haven't, it's been a couple of years since we both been in school, but as far as like education, like middle school, high school, it's been some years since we both been in like those grade levels. But I only can imagine, like, with social media and like the use of phones and technology, how like maybe statistically like test scores and et cetera have dropped. So maybe people in the education systems have come together and be like, okay, let's see how we can actually utilize AI to benefit this kids in the schools to actually increase these test scores and increase their way to be able to like complete an assignment and get it done in a quickly manner. I don't know. This is hypothetically thinking, but I could just see it becoming more prevalent in the educational institutions.
No, I definitely see that. I could even see like AI being used to tutor kids directly. Like
Yeah,
um, AI is an educator in a way too, so it can be programmed to assist teachers as well. And then also, I think teachers are also trying to find ways to combat the use of AI on tests, for example, like some kids cheating on assignments taking home or etc. So how to figure out what is coming from AI, what isn't. Like there's many things that are gonna come to play. And then another thing that I'd like to point out, it's more of a question than an answer, but you know, it's becoming more and more prevalent and more awareness is being raised to the fact that AI is actually bad for the environment because
Mm,
AI requires a lot of energy consumption for training those AI models and then also for um, keeping up with those data centers. And it's like requiring a lot of burning of fossil fuels as well. So, a lot of these new emerging technologies, which are super great, are actually also requiring a lot of energy effort on the back end. So, how can we make them more eco-friendly? I think that is going to be a very, very important topic for AI because AI has a lot of benefits to society, to humanity, etc. But we
yeah.
do want to make sure that we're building ethically and like taking care of the planet while doing so. So, what are some ways to make AI more clean, quote unquote, more green? So I could see that as a trend for innovation within the AI sector in the next coming years. It's probably already happening too. I'm not sure. So um yeah, so now we'll move on to some AI tools. We'll go through some AI tools that we use. Obviously, there are hundreds and probably thousands, maybe more out there now. So some AI tools that I like for language processing, for example, like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Perplexity, Kimi as well, I really enjoy. And then there is a really good AI tool called Lovable for like building landing pages, and it can even help with the branding colors, etc. So Canva as well recently integrated AI
Hmm.
into their tool. I really enjoy it. It definitely still needs work, but that's the thing with AI is it learns from the more and more it's being used, the more it learns. So it has machine learning integrated. So with Canva, you can create landing pages, or sorry, with Canva, you can create marketing flyers and like tell it what you want and create illustrations and logos. And then there's Dolly as well, which is a good image generator as well. So there's a lot of other AI tools. We can definitely share more with you guys. And if you want to have a one-on-one with us anytime on how to use AI within your business, we'd be happy to explore what options exist. But those are a couple of tools that I would say I use quite regularly. How about yourself, Jerome?
Just the only two at the moment is ChatGPT and Perplexity. I really like
Okay.
Perplexity a lot. So, like I said, I'm still
Mhm.
new to it, but I have heard of Lovable for
Yeah.
sure. The only two that I actually use is ChatGPT and Perplexity. Highly recommend Perplexity, guys. It's a great one.
Yes. Yeah. No, absolutely. And more and more companies, like everyday companies that we see, like Oracle, Adobe, etc., are all integrating AI within their tools too. So we're just going to see more and more innovation, and it's going to be interesting. So thank you guys, and please let us know what you think about AI, where AI is headed. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it could help humanity? Do you think it's going to digress humanity? And what are some things that we should all, take into account when using AI tools? And what are some ways that you use AI tools that maybe other people haven't thought of yet?
Yeah, those are all good perspectives, share for sure. And I would say just learn how to balance the use of AI and don't let it actually become your crutch and diminish your ability to still be able to think and create your own intelligence within because you are still your own brain. So don't let the actual brain of a technology made machine actually impact your intelligence within. So that's a wrap on another episode of the Globally Connected Podcast. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and comment, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.